Well, as you saw in the last video, we got the mast off. We're getting ready to haul the boat. One of our viewers asked about inspecting the mast, which has been on our checklist. So we're going to head out to Mike's place and see. He's done a pretty thorough investigation and he's got some things he needs to do on the mast. So we'll do that. But the exciting news is we're hauling the boat next because we're ready to go to work. We've got the base from Beta Marine West. Big shout out to those guys. Our motor's still in the queue and coming, but they actually had the fiberglass base here in stock or available. So we got that shipped up from California to us. We got a C panel template because we bought the bigger panel with the gauges for oil pressure and temperature instead of just the alarms. We got the ring and all the bolts which go underneath right here where the sail drive leg goes in. And so we are ready to go. Mike's ready to go to work. We've got a little box here labeled. He's got a couple of them, one for old parts, one for new parts. And this thing is just beautiful. So right there is where the new Beta is going to sit, a new sail drive, and nice finish, gel coat, everything. So we don't need the engine for a good spell. We could cut the cockpit floor, get the old engine out, do all the glass work, get all this ready to go, start working on designing systems, and then when the engine shows up, drop it in here. So we're pretty stoked, as you can tell. So let's head out to Mike's place, check out the mast, see what kind of work we have to do there, and then let's go get that boat, haul it out, put it out back, and get started. Okay, Mike, I was just showing off your new FRP base for the Beta back at the shop. Yeah. We are so ready to haul the boat and get started. But we did have a viewer that asked, so we'll do a quick little update here about inspection of the mast on a non-such, because there's no standing rigging, which is a bonus.
It's just a stick.
Just a stick. But you went through this 13 years ago, you're going through it now, so I'd just like you to share a few minutes about what you kind of do in these little maintenance cycles.
Sure.
You know?
Well, on the West Coast here, we don't pull our sticks every year like the folks do on the East Coast. So when you do take it off, now's the time to get at it and just kind of go through it. The boom is down in the shop. What I did there 13 years ago, because the pad eyes for the hangers were compromised seriously, and almost to the point where you either replace the boom completely or figure out what to do. And what I did was used a little FRP, fiber reinforced plastic, in a little mold where the compromise was, and made a new foundation for the hanger pad eyes.
And that's what hangs the boom off of here.
That's what hangs the boom.
That's what it's stowed
onto these hanger cables right here. These hanger cables were replaced 2 years ago, and quite frankly, when I tore the old ones apart where they were swedged in and everything, they must have been replaced prior, because they sure didn't look like original ones, because they weren't compromised at all. I don't know about the backstay, but now that the mast is off, I'll put a new backstay on. Just know that I have a new backstay. The other thing, or things that need to happen here, is the masthead.
Yep.
It should come off, which it will, and check the pin that holds the main halyard sleeve in place. I've heard nightmares of people hearing a ping in the middle of the night.
Down comes the shiv.
And down comes the shiv, yeah. And when I took mine off 13 years ago, quite frankly, there was only one cotter key on one end of it, and the other hole was empty, and it was on its way out. So I was very fortunate to take the time to take it off, learn my lesson. When it's down, check it.
And you're going to do some lenses. You got a cracked anchor light. You're going to do the VHF antenna, index. So it's the standard maintenance of topside stuff you can't get at.
Correct.
Okay. We do have a tech tip for testing the VHF cable. So we're going to put an end on with the new antenna, make sure that it's working to spec. Mm-hmm. So watch our tech tip about that.
Does that thing do sound?
Yeah.
So what we have is a little chafing here from this choker block. And when I bought the boat, and you can see right here, that this is the side that has been towards the mast. Brown, brown. And the wearing that we have here was digging a hole into the mast. And so what I did is made this stainless steel plate.
That's an add-on. Nice.
And schmoozed it with a little 5200, bedded it, and then pop riveted it on so it would stay put. And now I have this chafing guard. But what I need to do is to put a leather pad on here, on the shift.
Give it one more extra layer of...
Yeah, which I have on the... There's a line that comes down and goes down the mast, and you can see where the shiv was kind of messing this up with little pits and everything. So I put a leather pad, a rawhide pad on the side that runs
moves
up and down the mast, and that did solve the problem.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue you got, Mr. Mike,
Yes,
is
sir.
with this. Now, well, when you did the boat before, I've been out sailing. You did a couple of things that made the boat, I feel, sailing-wise, much more user-friendly. And that's that nice electric winch.
Yeah.
Push the button, up goes the big...
A Harken Uniwinch is a great improvement. The eyes that are on the boom that lead the the topping lift line, the choker line, and the reef lines all down and back aft are on a standard non-such. They're very small and they're hard to pull and makes reefing just a chore. So I put extra large rings on. I think they're 1-inch rings or something like that, 1.25-inch rings, so the lines slide through a lot easier. That was a great improvement for the sailing quality.
So sails up, it reefs easy.
Right.
The other thing is, at the end of the day, at the end of a staff meeting, we blow the halyard and that sail drops because of this, right?
Because the tide sail track, yeah.
Well, and also it goes up easy.
And it goes up,
but
yeah. But however, this sail track, 13 years old, 48 north, very little sun.
in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, in our neck of the woods, and it's compromised.
Give me a little...
Very soft.
Yeah.
It's compromised real bad enough where it needs to be replaced.
We're pretty sure that this is UV damage. I mean, we're way up north,
Yeah,
and we don't have a ton of, not Florida or Southern California,
No.
sun beating down, but it definitely looks like 13 years, this thing is getting compromised, and the last thing you want is your back cars pulling out of here or
I
problems
know,
when you're
I know.
sailing. So,
you know, and it isn't hollow and it wasn't full of water, so it didn't crack that way when it
No.
froze. But you can see that
super soft,
it's very soft.
flaking apart.
Now I didn't take my knife and cut into it when it was brand new.
Yeah, so we don't know. It might be soft from the factory.
Yeah.
But it is, hopefully it shows up. I try to get some video of that. It is definitely compromised and cracked and not trustworthy.
Right. On this rig, I run 4 battens, full-length battens, and there's a little bit of discussion about whether that's good or bad or not, but I enjoy it. Now, the back cars, you can see where when it's winged out, they're wearing into the tide sail track, and actually the slugs are too. So I guess what you don't do is you don't sail downwind and wing your sail out. Yeah, you got.
Now you just replace this every 13 years and keep sailing. That's the best part of the boat.
the best part of the boat, right?
Okay, I'm not an expert at the non-such and this catboat rig. I do love sailing on this boat. It's a lot of fun. And a couple of the other things that Mike found, that the whole thing is inspection, and more inspection. This shackle holds the clew of the sail to the wishbone, and then there's that block that Mike was showing off that needs a leather patch, which you can use to choke or to pull that wishbone aft and tension the bottom, the foot of the sail. This is starting to get some pretty significant wear where this shackle is, and Mike says on the non-such group, a lot of people now just lash the back of the sail right there and just replace the lashing once in a while. So that's going to happen. And then 13 years ago, this is on the front of the wishbone, and you can see there where it is
repaired. So that was all wobbled out as well, and it was in pretty tough shape. And so what happened was Mike drilled that and used a 1-inch piece of aluminum solid bar stock and cut that down and put a bushing in. And where that was all wallered out, it made it 13 years. It's been working perfectly. So,
Well, Mike, thanks for giving us the update. I know when you're not down at the shop working on the motor replacement, you've got your work cut out for you, because when that new motor gets in, we're going to have to get this re-stepped and go sailing.
That's right.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Welcome to the Skallywags, located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where Skagit Valley College has been training technicians since 1968. If you are looking for industry certification and the skills to work in maritime, this is the place to visit. Our staff will share so much knowledge and experience, you will not be disappointed. The workforce demand is very high, and all of our graduates are working around the world. If this sounds interesting to you, schedule a tour and come check us out.